guys, guess where I am? Von Doeler Ranch. That's right. You come around this bend, you take Talon Lake Road, you come around this bend, and you'd swear you were like in Yellowstone. On Yellowstone. Yeah. With Rip and Jamie and Beth. Except here, we have Elana. And we had such a great chat with her. It was awesome. You will never believe the story, because this place almost wasn't was. It wasn't was. This place almost didn't happen. Her great-great-grandparents, they actually almost didn't get to North Bay to start this amazing ranch because they had tickets on a ship called the Titanic. But they were denied boarding. Thank goodness, because otherwise, none of this would be. Anyway, this is To North Bay with Love. And I'm Lisa Bueve, your host. Come on, let's go get Elana.
Dear North Bay, you've always been more than a place on the map. You're home to me. This is where I built a life with my husband, raised our kids, and taught in local schools for over 24 years. I'm proud to be part of this community. Earlier this year, my world shifted. After living with anxiety, depression, and PTSD for much of my life, I reached a point where I couldn't keep going alone. Walking into the emergency department at the North Bay Regional Health Center was one of the hardest things I've ever done. But what I found there changed everything. A nurse who made me feel safe, a crisis worker who truly listened. For the first time in a long time, I felt seen. That care gave me hope, and it inspired me to give back by supporting local healthcare so that others in our community can access the same compassionate care I did. If my story resonates with you, I hope you'll consider supporting the NBRHC Foundation. Please visit nbrhcfoundation.ca or call 705-495-8125 to give. Because mental health is health. With gratitude, Tiffany Van Meer.
I don't even know where to begin. First, I guess I need to begin by when you drive up the drive up here.
Yeah.
You're on the highway, super busy, cars going crazy. You get in the two lanes, they're trying to pass everybody, and it's kind of hectic. And then you turn onto the Talon Lake Road, and then all of a sudden it's gravel, so something's gonna be good. And then you're going over these little hills, and you come around that last bend, and you just, I think your blood pressure goes down. I don't know, for me anyway. Maybe this is it's like you ask people who work in a bakery and they don't smell the bread anymore, right? But I know when I turn that corner, I come in here and it's just boom, all of a sudden, my blood pressure's down and I just take these deep breaths because it's just so breathtaking being here.
Honestly, so I go to the States for the winters. Yeah. And I come home, obviously, in the springs, and I get the same feeling. Every time I come home, as soon as I make that corner, it's just I'm home. Yeah, and it's just, it's a special feeling. I think it's the views, of course, but there is a little bit of a feel as well behind it.
And it's been here a long time.
Yeah, 1912, in our family.
And can we you got to tell us a little bit of a story, because there's a crazy story.
Yeah.
Because it almost wasn't. It didn't happen.
Yeah, so my great-grandparents, they were coming over from Germany, and they were supposed to be aboard the Titanic. They weren't allowed to get on because of their dog. So they ended up taking another ship that was leaving at the same time. And they got all the distress calls, everything for the Titanic. And they were just out of reach. They didn't end up going over to help. But they were, oh my gosh, just about to be on that boat. Yeah.
What a moment, what a friggin' moment in time that must have been. Yeah. What? And I hope the dog ate steak the rest of his or her life.
The dogs here are kings and queens, and I think it's a little bit because
there's a shrine to the dog,
they are,
to the canines.
All the animals are family, but
the
dogs
that dog, they would have been on the Titanic.
Absolutely.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So they came, now why North Bay? Out of from Germany. How did that happen?
That's a great question. Honestly, that would be a great question for my grandparents or my grandma. She's still here, Oma. Yep, she's 92 or 93 now. Yep. And my grandfather, it was his parents that came over.
Okay.
Opa. So he's passed, but he would have been born here on the farm as well. Wow. But I guess this was just the area that was kind of being settled into at the time.
Yeah.
So there was open farmland. I believe they were, like, if you were clearing it, you were able to come here and have this piece of property if you would come.
If you kind of did the work.
There was, and I wish I knew the details on that, but there was some sort of a incentive to come into this region,
right.
for sure.
So was it just like your great-grandparents who came? Just the two of them, or did they kind of have help, like family?
Just
or?
great-grandparents.
Wow.
Yeah, just
That's
great-grandparents.
insane. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, even now to think, obviously now we have technology and we have ways to keep in touch and stuff, but for two people to literally come to a different country, set up in a land that they don't know, and in a
very
climate
different
they don't
climate.
know,
Yes,
like
very
the
different
climate's
climate.
super
I
different.
can't even
So,
imagine that.
shoot, and then just be by yourself and kind of be like, okay, now what?
We have to figure this out.
Now what do we
Literally.
do?
Yeah.
And did they always want a ranch? Like, did they grow up with horses?
No, they didn't grow up with horses. Self-sustained, so just working with the community, trading cattle. And my great-grandparents, I don't know too much of what they had, but I know it was a self-sustained farm.
Okay.
And just managing the land, more or less, just surviving and trying to literally trying to
a lot of your day.
keep food on the table.
Right.
Keep the animals fed. And then, so my grandma, so Oma, she actually came over from Germany also when she was a young, I think 19, 20, 21, somewhere in there. Her and my grandfather, they were writing. So she ended up coming over and they got married.
Okay.
Yeah, so they got married. And then they were the ones that were, kind of doing a little bit more as a business, making money. He was building wooden boats. They had,
cool.
again, cattle. They had chickens. At one point, I think they had 2,500 chickens. They had an egg business.
Holy Christ.
So that was, the next generation where they were trying to generate a little bit more income from the farm.
Okay.
Yes,
And
and
then-
workhorses, 2 workhorses.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then they did your parents were the ones who kind of started with the curly horses?
So my parents also didn't have horses. We had, again, they took the chickens a little bit.
Okay.
Well, my mom obviously married into the family. She moved from down south up here. And they had red deer for a while. We had deer here. That's why you see all the high wire fences.
Okay.
That was for them. So then when I was 6, I was begging for a horse. We didn't have any horses here. And I wasn't allowed one because my dad was allergic.
Oh, no way.
So,
Yes,
he said, well, you have to wait until you're a bit older to take care of it yourself because I can't help because I'm allergic.
Okay.
And then I found this breed called the curly horse, and I don't even know how, it's literally in the newspaper. And we went over to a farm to visit them, and he wasn't allergic, and I was allowed a horse.
Solution.
So I got one horse. She was young, she was just a yearling. Which isn't, what you're supposed to do when you're a kid. You're supposed to get one that's already trained.
Okay. But you're like, no, throw me in.
I love this little yearling. She actually just passed this year, but I had her for 27 years. Yeah,
27
Star.
years.
She was super special. So she kind of started it all. Got me hooked. And then it was about 4 years after that, maybe 5 years. We're like, let's go get a couple horses so the family can ride together.
Yeah.
And we went out to Alberta to go horse shopping, and we ended up coming back with a trailer load of 8, me and my dad. And then this guy was, okay, we're in a drought, we can't really feed these horses. Do you want another load? So we go out 6 months later, we get another load. Same thing, 6 months later, he's like, I will give you a really good deal on these horses because I can't afford to feed these things right now.
Oh my gosh.
So we ended up with 22 or 24 yearlings, unbroke, unhandled, and that's kind of how I figured out how to train horses. I didn't know what I was doing really. I took lessons.
Right.
But this breed is so gentle.
Yeah.
And they just literally taught me so much. I mean, I didn't know anything specific, but if you pay attention to the horse, they give you feedback, you learn. Yeah. To this day. That's how it is. But we me and my dad, we made a little deal. We're like, hey, you train them, like I train them, and then we'll sell them and split the profit. And I just fell in love with them and couldn't sell them because they were family.
Yeah.
So I just started doing little trail rides for friends and family and teaching friends how to ride. I was pretty young at the time still. And it just, I got to where I could pay at least for the feed to some extent and ended up just rolling with it.
And now it's, wow.
Yeah, and that way I could keep them.
Yeah.
It was the ultimate goal.
You had so much emotion in your face and when you were talking about Sea Star.
Oh my gosh,
and I just, I mean, it was much smaller scale. I mean, our last animal was a cat, and his name was Winston. But we had him for like 17 years, and they really do become a family member. Like they're always there. They're always, you can tell them anything you want to tell them, and you can just like lean on them. And so I can't imagine like what that must have been.
Yeah, it was definitely one of the harder days of my life. Absolutely, it was very sad.
Was it something like? Did you have to kind of make that choice?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and she had been doing really great all last summer, and then I was gone for the winter, and when I got home, and the girls who were here were fantastic. They were looking after her so good, but she was getting to the point she would lay down, and she didn't have the strength to get up. She had slipped and done something to her leg, and just kind of went downhill from there. So I got home, and I was like, hey, let's get her feeling good again. I was all motivated, and she had good days and bad days, and one day we just couldn't. Yeah. She wouldn't stand. We had 6 of us.
Oh my goodness.
Trying to support her, to help her stand. And it was like, okay, no, we have to just let her lay down, get her comfy. Yeah. And I laid there with the whole morning with her.
Of course.
And made the choice, but it was so hard. I mean, I had her when I was 6, so it's,
it's your life, your entire life.
Exactly. Pretty much my life.
Yeah. So you didn't know really a life before her, kind of a thing. You know what I mean? Like,
It was kind of the start of everything, and for sure. She was such a sweet, sweet mare. She was just an angel. Really.
And I mean, that's the thing, though. I truly believe that. Like, I mean, that's something you take on. As a pet owner, I mean, we say pets, but I mean, of having animals, right? Because it's something that you have to. It's kind of a responsibility that you have to.
Absolutely.
You have to do. Sometimes I feel like we do nicer things for animals than we do for our people. Sometimes, you know what I mean, in terms of that way, right? Like if they're suffering, but it's hard nonetheless. And then you were talking about the girls who were here. So let's get into that, because that's really cool. Like when I came and did some trail rides and stuff here, loved it. I mean, you're just in this wilderness, obviously, like North Bay, Ruther Glen area. That's just beautiful. Talon Lake,
beautiful.
We go on these trail rides, and the girls, I think one of them, I think, I don't know if she's from Sweden. Anyways, but they're all from like, not from here.
Yep.
So what, like, how did that start, or like why?
So we run an internship program.
Okay.
Yeah, and so we have a lot of people that come over from Europe, Australia, New Zealand, really anywhere.
Wow.
And sometimes we have more local people come in and do the same program, but we run a training program. So we teach them everything from, horsemanship, body language. They get to do the barrels, the cattle work, learning how to pack and do the pack trip. So it's really a all-in experience. And then they're helping with the guiding. The daily chores, taking care of the horses. So it's really fun. Everyone's just a big family for the summers.
And with the internship, like, are they already kind of taking animal grooming or something? Or are they is it to their schooling, or is it just kind of, how do they apply it?
A lot of it now is just word of mouth. Through social media, people or friends of people who have been here already.
Okay.
Yeah, we do have something on our website, so people reach out a lot just directly. We do need some horse experience for sure, just because of the nature of the business.
Right.
And they don't need any special course, but sometimes it's through school, through their university, and they need an exchange or they get credits for it. So we do a lot of that. Yeah. And then we also do just people who want to come and, have an experience on a ranch for a summer. And
kidding.
In Europe, I think we do get a lot of people that want to come because they ride English there primarily.
Oh, okay.
And it's jumping, dressage, and not so much of the horses being out in big fields. The Western riding, the rodeos, all of that is just very different.
Yeah.
It's a very different culture. So,
Do you do both?
So I evented for... since I was little until I was about 25, which is 3-day eventing. That's kind of like the triathlon, where you do 3 events. So you do the dressage, which is, movement and a pattern, and then the show jumping, and then the cross country, which is the big jumps.
That would
be
awesome.
Out in the field.
That's like out in the, it's like a whole course.
Super fun. Yeah. So I did that very competitively, internationally, for a long time. That was my main focus. I was, part of the Canadian team and did all the training camps. A very cool experience. And now I shifted just to barrels and rodeo.
Okay.
Yes. So that's where I'm very deep into right now.
It's almost that time of year. Early mornings at the rink, fresh notebooks and backpacks, and a community gearing up for another great season of varsity sports. At Source for Sports North Bay, we're proud to be part of it all. Whether it's finding your kid's first pair of skates, Gearing up for tryouts or outfitting your team for the season ahead, we've got you covered. Because here, we're not just a sports store, we're neighbors, coaches, teammates, and fans. And we're proud to cheer you on every shift, step, and stride of the way. Visit Source for Sports North Bay at 1321 Fisher Street and let us help you along your way.
North Bay's turning 100, and what a time to be here. From the buzz of the Heritage Parade to sunset concerts at the waterfront, the city is alive with celebration. And you know who's right in the middle of it all? Homewood Suites by Hilton North Bay. We're proud to be a part of this milestone moment. Whether you're coming home from a family reunion, planning a gathering with friends, or just simply making the most of everything the Centennial has to offer, our doors are open. Stay in a spacious suite that feels like home, with a full kitchen to cook in, room to relax, and a space to unwind after a full day of fun. Are you hosting something bigger? Our event spaces and amazing local partners like the Grand and Stock Transportation make it easy to bring people together. Best of all, they're just steps from the action. The fireworks, the food trucks, the music, the laughter, it's all right here. Celebrate 100 years of North Bay with us. Use code Centennial to save on your stay anytime this year. Be at home with Homewood Suites by Hilton North Bay. Join the party today at 495 Oak Street West or give us a call at 705-495-3000.
A bucket list of mine is always to like gallop on a horse, like in a field, like just let her go and just like gallop and, and I've taken lessons on and off. But just before COVID, I was taking some lessons and we had just started kind of putting some little things out to kind of start jumping a little bit.
Yeah.
And I was getting up into my 2-point and so that was good. And so we were doing that. But I think, I don't know, obviously I wasn't counting or I don't know what we were doing. Anyways, the horse came up, I went down and we met in the middle. And it happened so fast. So wow, you're like on it and then you're looking at the ceiling. And you're like, what? How did this happen?
It's like the double bounce on the trampoline.
And the horse looking at you like, what happened? What'd you do, man? What's going on? And so anyways, fell off the one time, that was fine. And then the second time I fell off, I fell like right on the shoulder. And anyways, I had an accident years ago on the shoulder, and then that was like literally March 18th of like 2020. So like then the next day it was the shutdown. Yeah. So I didn't see anybody and I didn't, and I was like, now I'm scared. Now I'm scared not to get back on, I think, like a trail ride, I think would be okay, but like
the riding.
Yeah. But I love it. And I love the horses.
So it's super cool you say that because we have one of my great friends and she is from Austria, Slovakia. And she's here for a month or two right now, but she is specialized in just not communication with horses, but really healing and empowerment from horses and the connection, kind of like Andrea does too with the osteopathy. Yeah. And it's very cool how horses will just neutralize the energy in a herd. So if one is stressed, they find a way within the herd to balance that. Whereas with us, we'll hold something and be tense and then you pass it on to the next person, the next person's tense and there's no balance of that energy. Where in the herd, they really find a way to balance it out because they can't be in that state and survive in the wild.
Right.
They need to be in a balanced state. They need to be working together as a team, like as a herd.
Yeah.
And we take a lot of that and, we put it into our lessons and help people gain confidence through it, but we also use it for our team building.
Okay.
And we can't carry this around with us all day. You have to let it go and figure out a way to deal with it and get it out of your system. Yeah. And that's different for everybody.
Right.
And very cool though that you
so
bring that
true.
up.
I know, it's
horses
so true,
are so powerful. We don't give them credit for how just intuitive they are. And we lose connection, I feel, with some of that on our day-to-day busyness and our phones and just everything that's in our mind. And we lose a little bit of those extra senses.
And when you think about it, like they're such a big animal, horses, but their skin will flicker if a fly lands on them. You know what I mean? So they can feel, and they have to. They have to feel their environment. They have to know what's going on. But they are a flight animal, right? They'll run a quarter of a mile and then turn around and be like, what was that?
What was that? But I'm safe.
There was a noise. I don't know. I'm like, so it's like, that's how if they're freaked out, they're gone, and so you got to hang on. But yeah, it's hard. I think it would be a really cool lesson, especially in today, like with all the social media and everything, and we're so busy all the time. And I think we have a hard time kind of shutting our minds down. Because, you can get on a horse, and if you are a little nervous, then you start you're like, oh God, okay, I can't be nervous. Okay, stop being nervous. Okay, oh no, now I'm nervous. Oh God, okay, does she feel I'm nervous? Oh no. So it's a real lesson to kind of
Absolutely.
just let it be. She's okay.
Yep.
You're okay. Why is she's not nervous? Why are you nervous? Just calm down. Like, it's just, yeah.
It's so true. And we do a lot of that. Like, even in competition, it's just very much being like where you're at, being present, not overthinking things, and then within that, like you said too, just staying within your comfort zone so that you're not getting so far out where you can't control it, because
Right.
it is a thing.
Yeah.
And you can feel scared, and that's okay, but we have to figure out a way to come back and be in our comfort zone where we're not building on that and letting it escalate.
Yeah.
And I think people try to get in a rush to get to their goals or think they need to be doing something. And it's like, it's okay if you just hand walk your horse for a month.
Yeah.
Or 2 months. You don't have to get on and
Yeah, you're not going
jump
to a race or
around
competition.
and-
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Wow. So who do you ride now?
I have 3 main horses that I'm competing on.
Okay.
One is actually out for a couple months. She had a random field injury, so she's back, getting back conditioned right now. And my main horse, her name is Annie. She is amazing. So she's my main girl. And then my next one is Mac.
Okay.
She's a little bit younger. She's getting seasoned, which just means we're going to the rodeos, learning all the things, the crowd, the music, the different types of ground. There's lots to really teach them. It's like grades. She's in maybe grade 11 right now, and
Getting her little beaver badge.
Exactly. We're just kind of working our way through the grades and getting her confident with everything.
Is it always mares that, like, you don't hear a lot of geldings or that compete?
So when you go to a competition, I would say it's pretty even.
Okay.
Geldings to mares. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That's pretty even. I personally run all mares. It's not necessarily just by choice.
Okay.
Like, I bred a filly and she came out of filly.
Yeah.
So, I was like, bonus.
Yeah, exactly.
I love mares. I find they have a ton of personality.
For sure.
Some people don't get along with them if you try to force them into things and control them. But if you just kind of pay attention to them and let them know, you're on their side and you're a team, then they will give you their freaking heart.
Because like people talk about like the mare thing or whatever, right? Like there's funny TikTok videos or something about like here's what a mare, but like her ears are back or whatever, right? And I'm like, well, I think any animal's gonna have like those days, like
absolutely. I think a mare can be a little bit. They show you how they feel, right?
Spicy.
Yeah,
spicy.
exactly.
Yeah, I like it.
Exactly.
You have a little dude here. Well, I don't know if he's still here. Diego. Mm-hmm. First of all, I love the name, but also he was. So was he born? No, he was. He was born here.
He was born here. Yeah.
And then he was doing the trail rides. But then I seem to remember a couple years ago where he went through this period where you put a saddle on him and then he would just lay down. Like he was like, no, I'm not going to do trail ride today.
So we found out it was if we saddled him before the ride and it was hot out. Oh. And he would be itchy under the saddle. Okay. And then he would just kind of go and want to roll. And,
rub it.
Yeah.
Scratch it.
We saddle him just before the ride. And most of them do get saddled just before the ride, but we might saddle an hour.
Yeah.
So that, we're ready and we're prepared when people are here. But him, you might just saddle 30 minutes.
Prince Diego.
We manage him when it's hot out. And
oh my gosh.
He would get itchy. And one thing with the curly horses, some of them don't have a tail. A lot of people think we shave their manes and tails, but we don't. It's a genetic trait.
Okay.
So the ones without manes and tails, they get a little bit more itchy because they can't get the flies off of them. Mm-hmm.
It's almost like you need a prosthetic little, you should get like some fake hair or something. People can donate their hair. And
it's really cute in the fields. They'll stand, nose to tail, and they'll like get the flies off each other. So when we're on the rides, we do put spray or coconut oil on them to try to keep the flies down, but it is still, there's flies, right? We're in Ontario.
Yeah. Oh my gosh,
so
the deer flies, I know, right?
Yeah.
Coconut oil, no way. I would think the flies would, because it's like is it a sweet kind of oil?
It's a little bit sweet. It's not the best fly repellent, but I think it creates a little bit of a barrier. So around their eyes and everything, it works great. They don't get all up in their face.
Yeah.
We do spray on their rumps and their bellies and stuff. Yes.
Yeah.
Which again, it doesn't work for a long period of time, but if we do it just before the ride, it's good for an hour or two.
Cool.
Yeah.
And how many do you have now, horses?
So we have 36 of our own. And then we have 8 boarders here.
Okay, you do board. Okay.
Yeah, just small, very small scale for boarding.
What do you think you would be doing if you weren't doing this?
This.
I was hoping you'd say that answer.
Yeah, I mean, I love to rodeo. I love to compete.
Yeah.
So it is always balancing the two. But I love this. I love to compete. I love to help people compete and get that little edge on their competition mindset and conditioning horses. That's a huge passion of mine. So yeah, I definitely am just figuring out a way to do a little bit of both, but I do go to the States for the winter. So that's my time where I can really dive a little bit deeper into competition and the sport side of things.
Do you have like a home base in the States and then kind of travel around? Or
Yes, I do. Just since the last few years. Before that, I was all over.
Yeah.
I spent a few winters in California, Florida, Arizona, Oklahoma, really all over.
Amazing.
Just riding under different coaches and going where we needed to be for the eventing, for the training camps. And just really checking different places out because I thought that was great.
Yeah.
And meeting new people and experiencing new things.
Like, is there anybody that you met that you just like really, like, has anybody ever come back here that you met in the States or vice versa? Like, you go visit them?
Yeah, all the time. We have a pretty big connection and network of people all over. Yeah, it's really fun.
I guess it's like that community, right? It's like it's a certain just kind of horse community and you just kind of have your own language.
Yeah,
maybe.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Horse people are, their own little breed a little bit.
Do you think you need to be like, because here's another joke that people will say is like, girls who love horses have to be a little bit unhinged or a little bit crazy because they're, but like, you have to have some guts, I think.
I think, a little gutsy.
A little chutzpah,
You kind of gotta, I think the love overrules rationale sometimes.
Right.
Yeah. We do it because we love it and sometimes don't look at the business side as good as we should, but yeah.
I love it. Anything else that you want to tell us about Von Doeler or like maybe about how people would come out and like how they could, come out for trail rides or if they want to do lessons?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So we run lessons big time from May until the end of October.
Right.
And then on a smaller scale through the winter because we don't have an indoor arena here, so it's not for everybody.
Okay.
We do run year round though, and for the trail rides, but people can go to the website, just vondoelersranch.com or Facebook, Instagram. They can follow me or the ranch. And trail rides we do daily. We do our overnight. We have our cabins on the lake.
That's right.
Yes, so that's pretty awesome. And we have the overnight camps too. So you can go and actually pack your horses, like load your gear on the horses and go camp out in the woods. And then we do like little work retreats, birthdays, the day rides as well. Right. Yeah,
like we're sitting in this gorgeous, was this built or was this here?
This was actually our old hay barn. So when I was a kid, this was stacked with hay. We would climb up and actually look out the window.
Oh, yeah.
Up there, and sit up and just look at the fields.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that was very neat. And we just, over the years, did a little bit at a time. That's, the theme around here. We just chip away at things.
Amen. Well, you're kind of busy looking after 36 animals. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And all the wood and everything my dad logged out of the forest. And
really?
We cut it, and every year, just 1 year we did the floor, 1 year we did the bar top.
Yeah, I feel like
one
this
year
is new since I've been here. Yeah.
So
this is from here too. This is from the
all
woods.
The wood is from here.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, we cut it, and a couple of the girls that were here, Katrine and I think it was Elsa and myself, we did these tables. Mm-hmm. Yep. So everyone, when they're here for the summers, we all get really handy.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, guess what? Table saw.
A couple of them wiggle.
Oh, that's all right.
Us.
Bench, Now these license plates here, are they from tractors?
So these are all car license plates from my grandfather's cars. And
no way.
Yeah. And back then, they actually gave you a new plate every year. So instead of getting the sticker, they actually just gave you a new plate.
Aw,
so we found
cool
those, and thought it would be cool to
no
put them
kidding. He's always here.
Yeah. And you'll see all the saws, all the little decor is all my grandfather's old tools. Like all those, they cut all these trees by hand. Wow. And that house, the White House, was built by hand. He built it himself.
And is that where your grandma still lives?
Mm-hmm.
Oma?
Yeah, that's where Oma lives. So it's just, honestly, it's so impressive to me when I think of what our grandparents and great-grandparents did. And sometimes we're complaining about XYZ, and you're like, come on, that's not a real problem.
You're like, we have power.
Yeah,
we have,
exactly.
Like electricity. So we're just going to do it. But that's such amazing roots here, Like it's just, I can totally feel like how when you come around, you know, after being away for the whole winter, when you come around that corner, it's just, it's home.
It's home, absolutely. Yeah, it's home. And we like to try to recreate that for other people too, and just give them a sense for their, you know, part of the family when they come out. And that's a huge part of it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time. I know you're busy and, you know, you've got a lot going on, but this was so awesome to chat with you. And I brought some mints.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know, maybe a few.
Yeah, we'll go see who likes them.
Like the mints. Okay, so I brought mints. I don't know where I heard that horses like mints. I think it was, I don't know, was it TikTok, was it Instagram? It was something. And I said to Elana when I got here, I was like, hey, I brought mints. And she was like, okay. And I'm like, well, don't horses like mints? She's like, some of them do. And I'm like, okay. Anyways, I can't give them too many, but I'm gonna give them a couple. There's a bunch of freaking geese over there. Oh, here comes a horse now. I'm gonna see if he was bothered by the geese. He may want a mint. I think that's him saying, Lisa, give me a mint. Hey, come here, bud. You want a mint? All right. Hey, check out our website, northbayecho.ca. You can sign up for our newsletter, Echo Essentials. It'll be sent right to your inbox. And, you know, you can check out all the other podcasts that are available. I'm going to go because I see my little friend over there, and I think he wants a mint. So, you know, until next time, much love, North Bay.